Hi guys, welcome back to the BMW Guy YouTube channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at 5 things I hate about my BMW 1 Series. Just bear in mind, this is a car that I absolutely love, so various bits on this are sort of nitpicking and just trying to find something wrong with the car just for the sake of video really. So all of these stuff shouldn't put you off. In fact, it should encourage you that these are the only 5 things that I could find wrong with the car. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, to start off then guys, I'm going to sort of explain the first thing, and that's going to be sort of the reputation for reliability of this car. So this is a 2007 BMW 120d M Sport, so it runs the N47 engine, the post-facelift engine. And if you search this engine at all on the internet, you'll find major warnings telling you not to buy it, and that it was almost certainly blow up. So it's quite frustrating really. If you tell anyone that you've got one of these cars, they're like, well, how long is it going to be till it breaks down before you need a new engine, etc. So it's quite frustrating, especially if you're on any sort of forum or anything. You can't seem to get any sense out of everyone because they're always talking about the engine failing. However, if you look after the engine properly, then it won't fail. And also the other reliability things is various bits like the common issue with the drive shafts at the rear here failing, giving you ABS faults. We've got various other bits such as the glow plug relay will always fail in these engines, and sort of any diesel engine of this era, the glow plug relay will fail because they're rubbish from the factory. Then in terms of other bits, we've got glow plugs as well. So it's this one's all about sort of the general reputation for reliability, and the reliability itself is quite annoying. I had a 1.4 Volkswagen Polo before and an MX-5, and neither of those cars gave me any issues whatsoever, whereas this car, I've got several at the moment. Number 2 on this list is going to be the fact that this car runs an open differential. So you may have seen in my previous video, I've actually spoken about this before, and I actually called it BMW's greatest flaw. And that's because this car runs an open differential, which essentially means that as soon as one wheel starts spinning, all of your power from the engine goes straight to that wheel. Whereas if it ran a limited slip differential, which means it would limit the power to the spinning wheel and give you more grip, and it just affects the performance, because it'd be a much better handling car if it had that. It would be much more enjoyable, driftable, playful. Instead, you can't really drive the car as you'd want it. Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic chassis. These 1 Series are absolutely brilliant in terms of handling, especially with the M Sport suspension. They handle like a go-kart. And I'm actually going to include that in one of my next videos, which is going to be the things I love about this car, because it is just absolutely fantastic. But yeah, the fact that it runs an open is quite frustrating because it does limit the playfulness of the car. So yeah, that was number 2. Let's get on to number 3. Okay guys, so number 3 is going to be the price of the tyres, and in particular the rear tyres. So this is the M Sport model. It's got the 18-inch alloys, and on the rear it runs 245 35 section tyres, which are very expensive compared to other cars. So the Golf GTE here, a full set of tyres on that costs in the region of £800 maximum. However, on this car, these are £250 each, and then it sort of depends what tyres you go for. You could quite easily run the Golf on £400 worth of tyres, but we like to go for the Michelins. So yeah, just the fact that they've got rear wide low profile tyres just means that the tyres are quite expensive for the sort of price of car. Bearing in mind, I only paid £4,400 for this car. So that's number 3. Let's go on to number 4. Okay guys, so here we are in the interior for number 4, and it's going to be relating to sort of the cup holders or lack thereof. As you can see, no cup holders in the doors here, no cup holders whatsoever in the central console. and no cup holders whatsoever in this door. There are no cup holders at all in this car, and they were an optional extra for about £80, which is just absolutely obscene. So when you're on a road trip or something like that, there is nowhere to put any form of drink. You may see, look, I've actually forced it down in between the seat adjustments. That's a good bottle, but if you've got like a Starbucks or anything, you can't do it. So that's quite a frustrating thing on this car. Okay guys, finally number 5 now, is that these window switches, are you going to think this is a bit odd, but it's not very well ergonomically designed. When I'm sat here driving, the amount of times that I've gone to put my windows down to speak to someone, if we're coming into like a car park, we have to pay or something like that, the amount of times that I've put the rear window down, because that's where your hand falls, so they're almost a bit too far forward for it to be natural. So I always end up putting the rear windows down rather than the front windows down, which is probably more use rarer than anything. But yeah, that's another annoying thing about this car. And then one little bonus, number 6, is the fact that this button here, this voice button, I don't think it's ever worked on this car. When I link my phone to the car, button does absolutely nothing. I've pressed it so many times. I've pressed and held it for a minute before, just to see if anything did happen, and we've had absolutely nothing. I haven't found an actual use for it yet. I've read through the manual, and that doesn't seem to suggest anything. I know people have managed to get it work with iPhones, however I only use Android, so that's probably why. But yeah, it's a really frustrating thing, because voice activation is far safer than going through the infotainment system. So yeah, but that's it guys. That is all that I find wrong with this car. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.